And that's true. I have been I have been numb to a lot of things. But see, that's the point. That's the point of living and learning and being able to live and learn. You see, thinking that certain things weren't gonna affect me the way that I thought they weren't gonna affect me, having them affect me that way, it just gives me another aspect of myself that I know that I have to learn, that I didn't think I had to learn. So with me learning myself, especially releasing a lot of outside energy and outside bullshit, outside accountability, outside responsibility, outside talk, it helped me realize how numb I've been to a lot of things and how long I've been numb to those things and what I got to do to fix those things. Because when you realize the problem, you're already halfway done. You're already halfway figured it out. You're already halfway through it. The rest is to do the work, put the time in, gain that discipline in that area, in that aspect of your life, and then become a better version of yourself. In my case, become a better version of me. Like I said before, there's levels to this shit. I didn't start at level 100. That don't mean I didn't have level 100 power. It's just that certain times of your life, certain stages, certain scenarios, certain instances, things happen and you just unlock another level to whatever power or whatever ability it is that you have. So we all have abilities, but we don't all start at the same level. Some people might start at level 100, but they don't have level 100 ability. So they don't stay at level 100 long. You see how they fall off? And thinking about how people falling off now, I feel like everything just happens in its time, like my father told me, because if I had gotten into the game, music industry, what I'm talking about, earlier, I probably would have been, wrapped up with a whole bunch of people that's now falling off. And instead of me being independent and having and owning my masters and being able to build a catalog and stand the test of time, I would have been, you know, caught up with their karma as well. So anybody that's tied into anything that's going on with anybody that's going through receiving and the reception of karma right now, you're going to get that too. You're going to get exactly what they're getting, just in a different form, but you're also going to fall. You're also going to feel the burn. You're also going to be held accountable and put on Front Street, because this is the new renaissance, the new number one artists, the new number one creators, the new number one painters, the new number one actors and actresses. This is our time. And the sun pops out just to give me a little shine. But this is our time. This is the new world order. And the thing is, right, when we were so scared of the new world order, we thought that it was going to be against us. But come to think about it, come to find out, we are the new world order that they were talking about. They weren't talking about the new world order to make us afraid. They were talking about the New World Order because they were afraid. I just thought about that right now. Oh, you think you figured that out all by yourself? Yeah, I figured that out all by myself. We are the New World Order that they kept talking about, and they kept talking as if it was a conspiracy theory. We was that theory that they were talking about, and they calculated their downfall, and they let everybody know, but they weren't really talking to us. They were talking to them. They were letting them know, hey, there's a new world order coming, and it's going to be called the Golden Age. And these people are going to be so intellectually skilled. They're going to be so magically brave. They're going to be so outlandish and so badassery with their fucking actions. We got to figure out how to get the fuck off of this planet. Now they finally figuring out how to go to the moon. I guess that's their that's their little station where they get their little shuttle bus to go to whatever planet they're gonna go to next. Mars, the Mars project. Is that where they're gonna go? But nah, when you think about it and you see what's going on right now, you could even look at it in like local places. People are either on edge or people are on the edge of destruction or on the edge of miracles. There's no in between. You can see it from anybody that's going through anything right now. If you look at somebody that's going through something, like my father told me, right? I can't feel sorry for anyone that's homeless because I don't know what they did to end up in their situation. So if somebody is in constant negative situations, not situations that is showing they're being delivered and protected and, held in the safe, like, how they say you're being held in God's safe. That's why you're, you know, not able to form relationship with certain people, because when you don't form the relationship with certain people, you realize down the line what ends up happening to those certain people that you didn't end up forming that relationship with. It might not be the next day, it might not be the next week. It might take a 3 month, 6 month period, right? But when I tell you that 3 month period is very, very important, because if somebody can't talk to you for 3 months, right? That's 3 cycles of their period. That's 3 cycles of standing by them while they're going through their period. That's 3 cycles of their body changing. That's 3 cycles of everything in your world being uprooted and reinstated spiritually. If you can't do that for 3 months, there's nothing else left to be said. You already have your answer. You already know what to conclude with your thoughts, with your feelings, with your back and forth emotions. You know, you're feeling so confused, but you don't want to make the wrong choice. And that, I could bring that full circle. When you feel confused, like you don't want to make the wrong choice, and you feel hesitant to move forward, that's because you're not supposed to. That's because you've been so numb to what actually hurts. You're hesitant to go forward to more of what hurts because it feels and it looks, but doesn't feel like it's such a good thing or a good idea or a good plan. But what feels safe and what feels good to you is not moving forward, because now you're hesitant because you've been so numb to love. You can't move forward in love because you don't know what it's like to be loved. You never had it, right? It's like the Martians when they first came here trying to learn how to be right brain, trying to learn how to love and feel, because they've experimented with the Lucifer experiment, so they cut themselves off from consciousness. They don't know what the fuck feeling is. So when they came to the Garden of Eden, all this beauty and all this fucking fruits running around all over the place, that's another conversation that I'm gonna get into later. But you got to get back in touch with that feeling. You got to get back in touch with that feminine energy and that masculine energy. If you've been too far on the feminine energetic side, it's all about balance. They want you to be afraid of your shadow, but your shadow is literally your spiritual side. It's not the dark side. It's not the evil side. It's not the the devil side of you. There is no such thing. There is only balance, and what you do with that balance, then there is such thing. But I have became numb to a lot of things. And when you start, you know, when your body starts to get that feeling back in it, it feels crazy. It feels like you got to do a lot of stretching. It feels like you got to do a lot of this and a lot of that just to get your body back to zero. And then you can move forward into building that muscle back up again, because you haven't used it in so long. And you've been, relaxing, sitting and waiting for so long, just sitting, relaxing and waiting. And it feels like it's a calculated sit, relax, and wait. So, because as you sit, relax, and wait, your body is being deteriorated, and somebody else's life is thriving. So when you decide not to sit and relax because of somebody else's calculations, you start sitting and relaxing when you need to sit and relax, and you start moving off of your calculations. And it becomes a lot easier for you to move in your own energy, while others, you know, you can't do anything about anybody else's energy but your own. And that's why it's so imperative for you to stay focused, stay within. Don't try to run outside yourself. Don't let anybody scare you out yourself. Because once they scare you out your mind, they start going in there and start making you believe things that's not true. They start making you believe things that they want you to believe that's about them, but it's ultimately about you. Just like what they did with Michael Jackson. They flipped the script on him to make him look like the pedophile, all the while he was battling against the pedophiles. But that's why a lot of people that know the truth, they know from the beginning that, you know, we don't control those publications. So how do we know what they're saying is true without evidence and all this stuff? And we haven't experienced that type of stuff. We haven't seen what they're talking about. The same thing they did with Dave Chappelle. We knew he was just acting like a crackhead. We knew he wasn't really on that stuff. We knew it was just a script that he was playing, but they flipped the script and made us believe that the script was reality and his reality was a script. And that's why it's easy for people to believe that the internet is real today and reality is fake, because a lot of people try to be real on the internet because they can't be real in real life. So they get on the internet to be something or somebody that they're not. And when you know yourself, you start to see, you might, you know, you might go against yourself for a little bit of time, but it's only going to be a little bit of time, because most of the time you'll be able to catch that shit. You'll be able to see who's genuine and who's not genuine. And the ones who's not genuine, I promise you, they're not going to last long. As soon as you realize that they're not genuine, That's exactly when they start to fall off. Because I told you the energy that we're in now, when you see evil and you point out evil, that's all you got to do. The angels gonna ride. They ain't in the outfield no more. They sliding in home plate. They playing ring toss with halos and they using demon heads as fucking props. Demon time done. We ain't gonna be numb to any more of the pain. We're not gonna be numb and become who they want us to be. All we're gonna do is be more like we. And to the evils, we're gonna be less like you. Shout out to Linkin Park.